Welcome folks to Joe's Pilates. This is your little mini version of this week's class. It's the beginning of November, must me, it's the 1st of November. So we're going to just breathe in and get ready for a nice relaxed session. And then exhale, just bring your chin to chest on your exhale, lift your pelvic floor, just check your foot posture for me. I don't want your back to curve, I want your shoulders hovering your hips as you do this. So we're literally not caving in, we're just lengthening the spine with your chin to the chest, and then breath in, come here. Now we're going to start off with some mini squats. So what we're going to do actually is breathe in as you bend your knees. You can still see your toes just poking out beneath your knees there. And your arms are going to come up, and then exhale here. For the purposes of this one, it's a breath in here and an exhale here. You're just keeping your pelvis nice and neutral for me. So we're not sticking the bum out, we're not sticking the ribs up. Everything's nice and lengthened and aligned in the spine and the pelvis. Now on the next one, so you're breathing in here, you're going to exhale, put your right hand towards your inner thigh and your left hand turned round. So you're getting a gentle twist in your spine. Now, if you don't have a great back and this isn't a good idea for you, then you literally just breathe in and then come up straight. Otherwise, you go to the other side, breathing in, keeping everything aligned, not tilting up the pelvis, not sticking out your bum, not moving your spine, except on a gentle rotation here. Breathing in and exhale. Just a couple more on each side. Breath in and exhale. Keep your hips forward so you get that lovely gentle twist. If our spines are up to it, can you see that the knees aren't overshooting those toes? Breath in and exhale. And they're not coming together either, the knees. You stay nice and lengthened there instead of caving into the middle. What we're going to do, we're going to do a nice little pelvic semicircular move where you just lean into one side and then the other. So I like to imagine your hips are just following the semicircular shape of a half crescent moon. So you're just going to and fro. And we'll probably add on a little bit more in class to these, just because we have a little bit more time in class. We're just getting a bit of an idea, getting an extra little bit of exercise and stretching. So you're bringing your thumbs up to shoulder level, flexing the elbows here. So you want your elbows in line with your shoulders, nice right angle there. Without popping out your chest, you're opening your arms. So you're thinking about your shoulder blades just drawing together and sinking down at the back. Just have a quick check of your posture. Exhale, initiate this move with your elbows coming together. Breath in here as you open up. And again, elbows come together. Your fingers just come along for the ride. So we notice again, the spine isn't bowing at the back, spine stays straight, and so does the pelvis. Let's just open up and close. And the next time you open, let's just turn to one way, to the front, and then on the next opening, turn the other way. Check your face is level with the wall at the front and at the side, and your jawbone just stays in line with your shoulders, so we're not protruding chin or forehead. Beautiful. And the other way. So keep your face forward for this next move. You're just taking the palms down, so try and keep your elbows nice and high. You've got this movement in your shoulder blades and in your arms, that's great. Otherwise, just go to your potential. I don't want any clicking, catching, or any pain, just nice freedom of movement. We're concentrating on keeping aligned in that spine, so it's not doing this or this, we're just staying nice and still. Pelvis doesn't twerk, spine doesn't bow. And again, you can do the face moves if you wish. One side, breath in and exhale. All right, so bring your arms together, just fold them back in. We're going to practice some plie squats. So the feet, I'm going to just turn my mat, the better grip, and also it can guide your foot placement. You want your feet, toes going towards the corners of the mat there. And you're breathing in to begin and prepare. Exhale as you plummet your crown to your coccyx. You don't have to go mightily low to begin. Just warming up the inner thighs, your glutes, these glute meads here, and over the side and round the top bit of your bottom. Now, remember, for this, we need the knee to always hover that ankle. So if your knees are here, if your feet are here, your knees are going to just be overshooting your toes, and that's not what we want. So as you get warmer and deeper into the squat, you can just alter your foot position to accommodate the safety of your knees hovering those ankles. Let's keep the knees nice and open there. And as you exhale, draw the pelvic floor up. Remember, we're not going down at all towards the front. We're just keeping a nice straight back. Let's do 5, 4. That's it. As we get warmer, we're getting a bit deeper. A couple more. We're aiming for these hamstrings to be level with the floor. Okay, so we're going to add on your arm openings. That's it, great. Let's do 5 here. Don't forget, lift that pelvic floor, exhale here, breathe in to come up. 3, and 2, and 1. Now we're going to stay low, but just lift up one heel at a time. See if you can keep the pelvis steady, so we're not wobbling around in the pelvis. Secure your core, just pinning your ribs towards your hips, lifting the pelvic floor upwards as you keep the pelvis itself, the bones themselves, or itself, that unit there, nice and solid. And then let's have a go at picking both ankles up. So it's a breath to prepare. Just get comfortable as low as you can in the knee bend, and lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Okay, now have a go at lifting the ankles. Don't do that. Secure your core, breathe in, exhale, lift here, and then see if we can come up through the crown. Don't go forward, you'll fall like I just did then. Alter your stance so you're nice and secure and stable. Coming down and up. So it's breathing in, exhale, lift here, breath in as everything's nice and relaxed. As you come up, exhale. I mean, it's not relaxed, but it's a nice kind of relaxed lung as the air comes in. Exhale to come down. 5, breathing in. 4, that's my washing done. 3, the last 2, and 1. We should be feeling really nice and a bit warmer now. So we're going to not just throw ourselves back in, we're going to walk back in. So let's get the weight into your heels and draw your toes in. Let's initiate that action from your hip. We've done this so many times in class. Lift up your ankles, draw your ankles in, and just make sure the weight's where you're not moving. And you can do another one if you wish, just to get that nice lubrication going in those ball and socket joints there. So We're going to get straight down. We've got some nice pelvic clocks to do, and then lots of abdominal work on the floor. Okay, so let's get ourselves down nice and safely onto the floor, starting with your eye position here. Avoid bringing those knees together. They need to be in line with your hips, and your feet are lengthened out to head in front of you. Breathe in to prepare. On your exhale, draw your chin to chest and just scoot your coccyx under, drawing up your pelvic floor. Avoid rolling in the top of your shoulders, but you want that lovely C curve in the spine from your crown to your coccyx. And taking another breath, practice breathing into your thoracic. I think I'm going to whiz round actually, just because I think the light might be a bit better this way. Breathing into the thoracic here, that's the top sides of your body, because when you're in the C curve, it's hard to breathe into your belly. So that's what Joseph Pilates was trying to encourage, that breath into the sides here, moving the rib cage towards the sides and upwards there. And then exhale, bringing the position into the sitting bones at the back, drawing the pelvic floor up and rolling down safely onto the mat. Now you can have a cushion underneath your head if you feel that that's going to bring you into a nice neutral position into your neck. We want a nice straight line really. So if you're already like this, a cushion wouldn't be a good idea. But if you like this, then a cushion would be a good idea, just to bring you nice and neutral in that neck there. So with your pelvis nice and neutral to begin with, that just means that your hip bones are level with your pubic bone. You're going to have this little gap here because your feet are on the floor. You don't need the stability of the lower back pressing into the mat. Your feet are doing that safety work for you there. So we're going to move the pelvis now. So remember, the pelvis itself is the bone structure. The pelvic floor is the muscle underneath the pelvis, like the base of the bowl. So we're not too worried about the base of the bowl, the pelvic floor. Well, you can have it held at about 20% tension. So just a nice little internal kiss there, but it doesn't move the structure of your pelvis itself, but we're going to do that. What we're going to do is, you imagine a clock. The middle of the needle, or where the arms of the clock begin at the belly, just underneath the belly button there. You're going to need those in a minute. You imagine that 6 o'clock is at the pubic bone, and 12 o'clock is at the belly button there. So when we're nice and neutral, we're going to imagine a nice marble in the center of that clock face. I'm going to roll it now towards the 6. So your rib cage is going to come up gently as you squeeze your hips towards your knees there. And then we're going to roll the marble to 7 o'clock, and then 8 o'clock, 9, 10, 11, and then 12. So notice when you're at 12, and if you're not quite there, let's get there now. Your lower back is nestled into the floor, and you're nice and aligned in that upward position of your pubic bone towards your nose. You're now going to go back round the clock to 11, and then 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I think my clock's just gone a little bit wrong, but I think you get the idea. So let's go back round the other way from 6 o'clock to 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, back to 12. So you've got full spine imprint at this stage. Try not to drive through your feet too much. And then let's go all the way to the other side. So it's going to be 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3, 4, 5, and back to 6. and then bring it neutral so that we're just absolutely flat. The marble is back in the center there. So that's a brilliant little exercise just to get the articulation of your pelvis itself moving around. So what we're going to do with that is just keep it nice and neutral for now. And we're going to bring both arms up and over. This is arm preparation. So we're just staying neutral in the pelvis, so your rib cage stays lower. You're breathing in here, and then you exhale as you sweep your arms round. Breathing in and exhale. Breath in and exhale. Now we're going to make it slightly harder. Stay nice and neutral, so just keep that marble central, and then tip your chin to your chest and try and have just the tips of your shoulder blades into the mat. How's your marble? It needs to be nice and still. You've still got that little gap there under your back. Breathing in, arms come up and exhale. Breathing in, arms come up and exhale. You can just gently feel the floor in contact with your shoulder blades there, and it's quite a nice feeling. Like someone's just nestling under your shoulder blades. You've not moved your pelvis, we're just practicing pelvic stability there. Excellent. Bring it round and gently bring your head back down to the floor. Now we're coming out of neutral pelvis. We're going to bring the marble to 12 o'clock. Okay. And remember, 6 o'clock is your pubic bone, 12 o'clock towards your belly button. Soft shoulders. And with your lower back pressed into the mat with that 12 o'clock marble positioning, you're going to bend one leg first into tabletop and then the other. And we're going to lift both legs. So this is like a really nice warming leg preparation. Position one, modification one, I guess. Just lengthening the legs and then coming into tabletop. I'm just checking I've got a right angle. I'm checking my knees are hovering my hips and my lower back's pressed into the mat, and I'm literally just extending and flexing the legs. Okay, now the harder position for your legs are from the flexion position, lower back into the mat, you extend the legs. Extend the legs. So you might want to feel like your ribs want to come up off the floor. I want you to drive the rib cage down and keep that lower back pressed into the mat there. Keep breathing. Let's do 3. For 2. It's usually an exhale as you draw the legs in. Inhale when you're nice and lengthened, but just keep breathing is the biggest rule that we like to have. Now let's see if we can add on the arm action with the legs. Here we go. So start off with the legs bent and then extend them into straight. And we're going to bring the chin to chest if we can. Actually, there's an option just to keep your head on the floor, breathe in and bend the legs. Exhale here. So let's just do a couple of those. Keep having to watch my knees because I don't want my knees to creep towards my chest there. And then let's see if we can go a little bit harder, bringing the chin to chest. You can keep your thoracic on the mat still, or you can bring that up even higher. I don't want you drawing your shoulders towards your front here. I want you to stay nice and lengthened in your chest. And then it's breathing in, exhale. The breath in and exhale. Let's do 4, 3, for 2, and then 1. And then we're going to bring those knees in and just have a lovely little hug here. You can roll from side to side. Just feel the Any tension just releasing into the mat as you just roll from side to side there. And then we're going to try the next option. So I'll do the leg movement first of all. We start off in this tabletop position here, just checking my position. And remember, the lower back's into the mat, your pubic bones driving towards your nose, your marble is at midnight, okay? And you're going to extend the legs, okay? Now remember, the arm action comes up and over. And if it's too much, then we just go from 90-degree angle in the knees to extension. It's much harder if we extend the legs going lower towards the floor. Okay, let's do 3. Breath in 2 and 1 here. There's your lower back in the mat. And then if we can get the upper abdominal work going at the same time, we can add this on as well. So let's try for 4, for 3, breath in, and 2, and last one here. So we'll repeat that last little section. We'll just have a little knee drop just to mobilize the hips and just have a little rest from that. 1 foot on the floor at a time, and knees together, feet together. Just have your hands where they're comfortable. You're in neutral pelvis because your feet are on the floor now. So your marbles bang in the middle of that clock, and just take the right knee towards the right and breathe here, and just enjoy that opening in that pelvis there. And on the exhale, draw that leg back up. Have a little breather. You can do some pelvic tilts if you wish, just to 6 and 12 o'clock. Maybe, 3 and 9 as well. Become neutral, breath in. Exhale, lift the pelvic floor as the other knee. Just meanders down to the side there. Have everything relaxed, relax glutes, so that that knee can just nestle towards the floor then. Soft shoulders, have a beautiful breath into this relaxed body position. Whew, have another one as well. And on that exhale, draw the knees together. And then we'll do 6 more of whichever option of that last routine, that last little sequence that you prefer. So I'm going to scoot my coccyx under, driving that marble to number 12 into tabletop, and off we go for 6, for 5, for 4, and 3, for 2, and last one here. Bring your knees to the side. We're literally lying on our tummy. We're going into gluteal brace, which is a really nice exercise just to get us used to the plank, which we'll build up to from here. So for gluteal brace, you can have your hands in a nice W position or an E position. It's just where your elbows are a little bit higher there. And you can also bring them in, your hands into a diamond shape, and just pop your head there if you wish. Okay, we can have our head slightly up looking at the floor. So when we're in this position, your pubic bone is into the mat and your belly button is off the mat. So squeeze your belly button towards your spine. And then for gluteal brace, you start off with your heels just relaxed to the side. And then as you squeeze your glutes, your toes tuck under, your knees raise off the floor, avoid overextending the knees. You're just squeezing your bottom so that we're getting those muscles all activated and switched on. Your thighs are activated as well, which is what lifts the knees, and then we relax and the heels fall away at the side. Breathe in. Exhale, squeeze the bum, twitch the toes under, and squeeze. You can have a cushion between your thighs if it helps you just, you know, pinpoint the muscles that we're trying to activate, isolating those muscles in the right place. But if you've got it, then it's fine just to squeeze and then relax, breathe it in. And we'll just do a couple more of those. Exhale, squeeze the glutes. Can you see the knees rise up with the tension there? Squeeze the inner thighs together and relax. Breath in. And exhale, squeeze, release. Sorry, squeeze and breathe in. Don't release yet. And relax. So we're going to do a little heel lift. So bring your knee into flexion and your ankles into flexion there. The other foot's just nice and relaxed there. And keeping the hips on the floor and your pubic bone off the floor. Sorry, on the floor. Hips and pubic bone on the floor, belly button off the floor. And you're just going to engage that left glute and lift and lower that leg. I don't want tension in your lower back, so you just isolating the movement in the tension in the glute, not here in the lower back. So breathe to prepare, exhale, squeeze that glute, release. Squeeze that glute, release. We're going for 4, release. 3, 2, and 1. There's no tension in my lower back whatsoever, and I hope it's the same for you. You're isolating the tension into that glute. Let's try the other leg. Breath in and exhale. Squeeze that glute, release. Squeeze that glute, release. Here we go for 5, 4. Roll that coccyx under, make sure that pubic bone's into the mat. Last 2 and 1. Excellent. Okay, so we can carry on here, or we're going to go into some press up options. So we'll take it into the cobra first. So we're going to keep that pubic bone into the mat, soften the lower back as you roll up into the cobra here. Let's just exhale, come back down. And on the next one, have that flexibility in your back, but I want your coccyx to start to roll under as we lift ourselves into on all fours. And this is your first press option. So we're going to breathe to prepare and exhale. Keep your back nice and straight. So I don't want this action. I don't want this posture. I want nice straight back. Let's just tuck this in so we can have a good visual. Lengthen that out. And as you exhale, we're taking the elbows to the knees. Breathe in, come up. Exhale, lower. And then let's take the elbows to the side. Breathing in here, exhale to go to the side. Now, if you've got wrist issues, then we can literally plank like this. That's still giving you some really great all over core strength, just holding yourself like this. And I'll give you a harder option next, which you can also do on your elbows as well. So you're going to take the weight, just put one hand just underneath your chest in the center there, and you're going to take the weight off your left leg and get the knee above the patella there onto the floor with both knees. Avoid stretching out your rib cage. You want a nice flat back. Your wrists are directly underneath your elbows. And again, if we're not going for a full press up, we can plank here. And look, I don't want this kind of action. I want your hips level and low with the floor. I don't want your lower back dipping. I want that nice sturdy straight line there, crown to coccyx. So I'm going to go for a nice plank here, breathing in. Exhale, we're taking elbows to the side for 2. Take your chest to the floor rather than your nose. Your nose will definitely come for the ride. And then let's do elbows to toes. Gosh, I've got a little bit of funny water tied in my ears because I was windsurfing in the Hollingworth Lake at the Lake District at the weekend. And as I go down, I can just hear it in my ear. I thought I'd got rid of it, but there it is. Right, so we're going for a full plank now. It was the best form, I have to say. Right, so here we are in the shoulders to toes. Okay, we're going to breathe to prepare. And again, choose your option. Exhale, chest down, elbows to the side. I don't want your lower back caving in. Let's do elbows to toes. Bit out of practice with this, so I don't feel like I'm going as low as I would ideally want to, but it's not bad. Let's go into a nice child pose, and then we'll do, we'll come back to doing one more round of whichever option you choose for that sequence there as well. Breathe in, remember into your thoracic, which you were a bit squashed in the old rib cage at the front towards the belly. So practice breathing in and out of the sides there. And then when you're ready, if you choose to, we can do another sequence of this. So I'm going to try 4 more. 2 elbows out to the side. And then 2 elbows to toes. These are brilliant if you've got some shoulder injury. Do another one here. It can really strengthen any deficit that you might have going on there. We're going to just come into this mermaid position. You can have your foot snug into your thigh, or you can have your legs over one another, whichever's comfortable for you. We'll start with a breath at the top. And then we're just going to go to one side. That's it. Just check that your elbow is directly underneath that shoulder. And then keep your legs here, how they are. I've got a bit of cramp there now. And then reach over. You can, if this is too uncomfortable, just move your legs so that it's comfortable for your body. And then come up to the other side. So just have one leg straight if that's where you're at today. Come over to one side, try and turn out your hip so everything's stretching nicely for you rather than caving in. You're not going to stretch much if you cave in. Lengthen this side and then come down to the other side. Exhale. Breathe into that rib cage. And then bring it back up. Let's have your feet at the front, all cross-legged. Take your arms up to finish. Have a little look there. And then exhale, namaste. So we'll pad it out a little bit live in class, but that's a nice little taster of what's to come for your class session. Have a great week till I see you, and hope to see you live in class. Bye.